Welcome to the show, everybody. This is the first show presented by MyBookie, MyBookie.ag. It's wonderful to have you along for the ride. Bad news yesterday with the Philadelphia 76ers. Guerschon Yabusele, look, the writing was on the wall. He wasn't coming back. It's unfortunate. The writing was on the wall the previous day when Watford ended up signing with the Philadelphia 76ers, pretty much spelling the end of Guerschon Yabusele in Philadelphia. That is unfortunate. But we saw it coming. What we didn't see coming necessarily was him signing with the New York Knicks. Just to twist the knife a little deeper. Good times. Thanks, Yabu. Look, I heard Tyrese Maxey on with John Clark, and he used the word advertised. Guerschon Yabu did a great job of advertising himself. 1 year he was with the Philadelphia 76ers, and that's exactly what he did. He advertised himself. He did a great job at the Olympics of doing that. Now, that might be a shrewd way to look at it, a shrewd word to use, but it's true. He wanted to get back into the NBA. He had a phenomenal Olympics. He ended up coming back to the NBA, and the 76ers were the stage that he needed to show the NBA that he was ready to play at that level once again, and he gets a 2-year deal worth $12 million. Affordable, certainly affordable. Sixers opted not to do it because it's really not that affordable to the 76ers, unfortunately. Now, they could have used a mid-level exception to keep him. They did not. He's now with the New York Knicks. Wonderful. If it wasn't the Knicks, it wouldn't stay. If it wasn't the Knicks, I'd just be happy for him. And not happy that the 76ers don't know how to run an organization, unfortunately, but I'd be happy for him. But the fact that it's the Knicks, I can't be happy. We'll get more into that later. Also, late last night, my man Keith Pompey broke the story. Eric Gordon re-signs with the 76ers. For those that haven't been following, Eric Gordon will be 37 years old in December. Last year, when they signed Eric Gordon, I thought, well, that's it for Tyrese Maxey. They're not gonna have two guards on the team that are 37, 38, 39 years old. That ain't gonna happen. Kyle Lowry got re-signed. Kyle Lowry get re-signed again. Kyle Lowry back? We'll see. I'll say this. Working with Keith Pompey now for the last month, he really wants Kyle Lowry to be back. Now, he really wanted him back to tutor Ace Bailey, essentially. Now maybe he'll be back to tutor VJ Edgecombe. Maybe that'll be the case. I'm good on getting older. Now that Eric Gordon's back, hey, if he shoots, the damn near 41% that he shot last year for the Sixers in games that he played in, then I'm feeling pretty good about it. But 37 years old by the midway point of the season, or 2 months into the season, that seems a little steep. I don't think you need two more of those guys. It certainly didn't work last year. Those guys weren't healthy last year. Kyle Lowry, good to have him around. Maybe have him as a coach, assistant coach. Do you keep him around that way? I don't know. An ambassador? I don't know. But I'm good. Now that Eric Gordon's back, I'm good on another aging guard. The Sixers are having a wild offseason already, man. I already feel exhausted by the Sixers offseason. Between all the Ace Bailey stuff and the drama that went into whether or not they were going to pick him and all that stuff. Like, I was already exhausted by Ace Bailey's Sixer career by the time the draft rolled around. I am really looking forward to Summer League because I want to see guys in a 76ers jersey play and try to win basketball games. And I like that TJ DeLeo is going to be the head coach of the 76ers, former Temple star TJ DeLeo, son of Tony DeLeo, the Sixers former front office executive and brief 76ers head coach. He's going to be running the Summer League squad. So I look forward to seeing how all that plays out. Go to you. So we'll get a little bit more into the Sixers. Also, Phillies were rained out yesterday, which sucked because I was really looking forward to them taking the first two games of the series with Christopher Sanchez on the hill yesterday against Nick Pivetta. So now they got a 1 o'clock and 6 o'clock split doubleheader today. I was thinking yesterday, the Phillies, and I mentioned this on the show yesterday, if the Phillies went out there, if the Phillies before the month of June were out of first place, and then at the end of the month of June, they're 2 games up in first place, I feel like we'd all be pretty happy about that. How did they do it? Oh, did they beat the Mets? Oh, my goodness, they beat the Mets. I feel like we'd all be pretty happy about that. But expectations certainly change when you see your team go through it. And when you see your team go through the struggles that they went through in Houston and really the struggles that they went through on that road trip. And hey, look, they scored 4 runs the other night for Zach Wheeler. That still ain't a lot. They really did take advantage of a lot of miscues there by the Padres. You want to see them improve in some way, shape, or form. The names that were just listed by CBS Sports as potential landing spots being the for certain players that are likely to be dealt at the deadline. The Phillies were listed on 3 names. The Phillies were listed for Cedric Mullins from the Orioles, an outfielder. The Phillies were listed for Luis Robert Jr. That rumor's still kicking. Okay. And the Phillies were listed for Jesus Sanchez. No thank you, no way, and I'm good. There is nothing on that list that the Phillies have been linked to that make, and this is the latest that came out like 2 days ago from CBS Sports, linking the Phillies to those 3 outfielders, not linking the Phillies to a single bullpen arm. But then a report came out saying that the Philadelphia Phillies are connected to the Pittsburgh Pirates in potentially landing closer David Bednar and Dennis Santana from the Pittsburgh Pirates. Yes, please. And absolutely. Bullpen. I would love to see the Phillies go out there and get a corner outfielder, get somebody that can really play at a high level for you, get somebody that can be a center fielder for you and play at that high level. And maybe you move Brandon Marsh, whatever the case might be. But he has certainly looked like a guy that's turning into your everyday center fielder. And we've highlighted his numbers over the last 2 months where he's hit 300 and had a really good on-base percentage as well to go along with his good fielding for the most part in center field. However, the outfield, other than Nick Castellanos, and I know they acquired Kyle Schwarber as a left fielder, but we all know he's a DH and he's a DH. The left field spot is a blind spot, as I have said many times, for Dave Dombrowski when it comes to what he has tried to do to help fix that Phillies corner outfield spot. I am rooting for at this point, although I'm not betting on it. Justin Crawford just gets the call up. Don't got to give up any prospects. It's in-house. You call up a kid. That'll be so exciting. I said earlier in the year when the Phillies were going through even more struggles, they were losing 10-13. And I said, you know what? It'd be great. It would be great if you get Justin Crawford up here. It'd be great if you see Justin Crawford flourish. Don't have to give up anything. I said, you're going to have a resurgence between Andrew Painter getting called up and Justin Crawford getting called up this year. Oh, how exciting that'll be for Phillies fans. And on top of it all, I have said many times throughout this year that it feels like you are grading this Phillies team, really including the last 3 years of what you've seen. It's not just this year. Like I remember in April, late March, April, we're getting mad at the Phillies and losing, and the guy's not hitting, and that's all very frustrating. And I remember a lot of people in the comment, it's just it's the first week of the season. This guy's freaking out, that kind of thing. It's not the first week. It wasn't the first week. Yeah, it might have been the first week of that season, but we were in Act 3 of the same play with the same characters and the same actors. So it's a little bit of a short leash with this Phillies team. I often compare them to the Philadelphia 76ers in terms of how much patience the fan base has left. So when I look at this Phillies team and I see the possibility, the potential of Justin Crawford getting called up and Andrew Painter getting called up, that really feels like it'd be a lot different. Plus, you also look at a guy like Ranger Suarez. Looks like he is showing no signs of stopping the incredible heater that he's on right now. Heater for a guy that throws 91 miles per hour. That's funny. But then you look at the rest of this rotation. You also see what Zach Wheeler's bringing for you. You see what Jesus Luzardo for the vast majority of this season has brought for you. The emergence of Christopher Sanchez. All this has been great. And now you're going to inject another starting pitcher into that, maybe after the All-Star break, after shutting down Andrew Painter. All right, for the All-Star break. I want to see it, and I feel like that absolutely gives a shot of life into a Phillies team that a lot of people have lost patience with, especially when you're talking about two things that seem like the constant. Bats going ice cold all of a sudden, and the bullpen blowing games. You fix those problems at the deadline with either outside acquisitions like Bednar, for instance, or Santana. Santana, by the way, who I believe is still on suspension for swinging with a fan in the stands. Good times. They'll fit right in here. That'll be great. Try that stuff in South Philly, man. Anyway, that's fantastic. That'd be great. And then you also look at the idea of maybe adding a bat from within, a call up for Justin Crawford. I love it. I feel like that would grab a lot of people's attention for the Phillies and inject enough new life into this team with not just guys that have banged around Major League Baseball for a while, guys that have had 200 strikeout seasons, like who is it? Eugenio Suarez, the third baseman for the Diamondbacks, has been linked to the Phillies as well. I'm good on that. Longtime Cincinnati Red. No thanks. I'm good on that too. So there's some names that are out there. There's no better situation. There's nothing better than Justin Crawford being the real deal, getting the call up. Now, I mentioned last week that Dave Dombrowski laid it out there saying, I've called up guys before in pennant races when he was in Boston, Detroit. I've called up guys before to help us out, and those guys came up and they helped us out. So he's no stranger to it. So he didn't close the door on it. He didn't give you the old Ruben Amaro Jr. Oh, Justin Crawford's not going to be the savior of this team. Take out the name Justin Crawford, insert the name Dominic Brown. Ooh, okay. Everyone calm down for a second. Not saying he's going to be that. But that was always said when the Phillies were struggling in the Dominic Brown days of him being that hotshot prospect coming up. Dominic Brown's not going to be the guy to save the team. Now, it didn't work out for Dominic Brown, unfortunately, or the Phillies for that matter. That doesn't mean it won't work for Justin Crawford. You're not hearing that Justin Crawford won't be the savior of this team from Dave Dombrowski. You're hearing, I'm open to it. The door's wide open for it. The opportunity is there for Justin Crawford. I love that. And then last week, Todd Zalecki, MLB.com, longtime Phillies writer. Todd Zalecki quoted a tweet about who could help the Phillies. And he quoted the tweet with the simple addition of text. Justin Crawford? ? If Todd Zalecki's saying that, and Dave Dombrowski's leaving the door open, that leads me to believe in the not too distant future, within a month maybe, Justin Crawford is playing center or left field for the Philadelphia Phillies. The guy really can't tear it up anymore. I mean, I would love to see 20 home runs, but you see 2. Okay. The on-base percentage, the batting average, everything makes sense. The position, everything makes sense. How are you going to challenge this guy anymore at the minor league level? Phillies can sit on their thumbs for a moment. Sit on their hands, twiddle their thumbs for as long as they want, but he's not going to get any better down there. The only way he's going to get better is if he gets that next challenge. Phillies have a thing right now where, yes, if they did call him up, they'd likely send down Otto Kemp. And I know nobody wants to hear that, but Otto Kemp's got to play every day, and Justin Crawford's got to play every day. So if you're going to be moving guys around in the outfield, odds are that Otto Kemp be the odd man out. And then if something happens with Bryce Harper again, then he'd be up and probably be playing first base again. But as of right now, that would be your answer to that question. What are they going to do in the outfield? I really feel the only logical thing is that they would bring up Justin Crawford. And they would hope that they wouldn't have to have Dave Dombrowski identify anyone around the league that could play left field in Philadelphia, because that has not gone well. Have somebody that's already in-house, more or less. And that's Justin Crawford. Now, as far as the bullpen goes, yes, go out there, get, oh man. If you can get Bednar, if you can get Santana, and you can pry them away from the Pirates. And look, the Phillies obviously aren't the only ones looking for a guy with a 1.70 ERA and then a 2.73 ERA and a 1.70 ERA for Santana and Bednar. As fast as humanly possible. I'd love to see those moves made. That's where the Phillies can really improve. As far as those other names, and I know these are names that a lot of people have thrown out, so CBS isn't exactly breaking any news here. But the Cedric Mullins thing, I don't get. the Luis Robert Jr. The guy had a 38 home run season once. That was cool. Ever since then, sucks. Jesus Sanchez of the Marlins. Yeah, I'm good again. No, thank you. I don't know what we're doing here. We're still doing this? We're still doing this? I feel like CBS just looked at it and went, hey, here's names. Threw them against the wall. So not cool. Don't appreciate. Don't appreciate. All right. That's how I feel like you can improve your Phillies with those names right there. All right, back to basketball. I'm very excited about the Philadelphia 76ers Summer League because I really want to see VJ Edgecombe play at this level. Are you going to learn more than you learned at Baylor? A little bit, just in terms of watching him. The thing that really sticks out is ball handling. And one of the reasons I didn't want the Sixers to take VJ Edgecombe is because I felt like in the worst case scenario, you're taking an offensively aggressive Matisse Thybulle. That's not a number 3 pick. So I wanted them to swing for the fences, and I wanted to go for Ace Bailey. Oh, and all the rumors about how, Ace Bailey, oh, man, what a scumbag that guy is. Oh, yeah, well, he's in Utah having himself a good time. All right, and I don't say that sarcastically. Everything I see from him, and I know there's been rumors and reports, he's not going to show up if it's Utah. There's rumors out there he's not going to show up. Well, he's there. He's there. And every video I see, he's smiling, despite what that freeze frame is at the draft. That's forever who these guys are going to be. These guys are going to forever be compared to one another. Okay. Now, unfortunately, the Sixers did not go in the direction I wanted them to go in. So now I'm looking at VJ Edgecombe saying, all right, how much better can he get between now and the start of the season? I always tell you guys, I never bet against anybody that has a great work ethic and already a little bit of talent. And VJ Edgecombe certainly has that. The work ethic has been questioned when it comes to Ace Bailey. But how much better? We saw a guy like Matisse Thybulle really work his ass off to try to be a 3-and-D player in the NBA. And it never really worked out. The defense was great when he was here in Philadelphia. No doubt about that. But the offense really never felt like it came. And with a guy like VJ Edgecombe, the huge head start that you have here is that he is already an NBA-ready defender. At least you feel like that before he takes on real NBA talent. You can presume that's what he has because he at least is a willing defender, which goes a long way in the NBA, unfortunately. And then his ability to attack the rim. I told you guys throughout the entire draft process, one thing I really liked about VJ Edgecombe was the aggression and the athleticism. Like this guy, there is no lane this guy thinks he can't cut through and find his way to the rim for a slam dunk. That he has that athletic ability, the jump out of the gym type stuff, the springs in his ankles type stuff. I want to see all that play out in Summer League. I want to see how he does that with new guys around him and how much he can improve on his ball handling. Because if there was anything you could really knock on him, it would be ball handling, number 1, shot selection, probably number 2. Both obviously on the offensive side of things. He's not a point guard. And the Sixers really don't have that marquee guy. You know who I'd love to have on the Sixers right now? If I could just go back, like I would love to have like an Andre Miller just come in and run this offense. I would just love, like if I could go back in the Wayback Machine. Like I know a lot of people might jump to like Eric Snow or something like that. No, I like an Andre Miller type, like a veteran point guard to come in here that knows how to distribute, could shoot from the outside as well. Like I would love to have that next to Tyrese Maxey, but the Sixers don't have that. Sixers don't have that, and they don't have a proven commodity at power forward. Like I was doing the lineup yesterday, I'm like, Kelly Oubre? Like Gershon's gone. Watford going to be that guy? I guess he's going to be that guy. He's going to be a starter. All right. Like I'm trying to organize how this works with the Sixers, and now it just feels like, all right, they got a bunch of guards. One of them's 37. None of them are point guards. All right, have at it, boys. And that's including the distinct possibility of Quentin Grimes coming back. And then I look and I go, all right, well, you got Andre Drummond. There's rumors out there about possibly trading Andre Drummond. You got a Dembona. You just brought in Watford. You just drafted Broom. Okay. I feel like you still need to keep loading up on big men, especially when it comes to power forward spots. I know people have mentioned Paul George in that breath. No, thanks. I don't want Paul George anywhere. I don't want him down there. I know there's no like traditional power forwards anymore, where they're just standing on the blocks, between the corner and the block. They're just standing down there waiting for something to happen. Now, I don't want that for Paul George. I want him on the wing. I want him being that wing. I want him being a 3-point threat, and every once in a while, that threat to drive to the basket. Old school Paul George. So the Sixers, although they have Kelly Oubre opting in, they just brought back Eric Gordon. They brought in Watford. They obviously have two guys they feel through the draft that can play at the NBA level, so those guys are going to be on the roster most likely. Broom and Edgecombe. They got a bevy of guards. They've been busy this offseason, not in the way that we would have liked them to have been. They've brought in one outside acquisition. They made one outside acquisition in Watford, and everything else has just been running it back. They are still putting all their chips. Look, we know that where they are. It's just to put a bow on it. We know where their chips are going, and they're going right on Joel Embiid and Paul George. That doesn't feel good. That feels like it's no. Come aboard this ship. It's fine. Are you sure? It's taking on water over there. No. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Are you sure about this? I think I've been on this ship before, and it's gone down. No. We got some new things and organized it a little bit different. We're good. You don't need to do anything. Here, just sit right here on the ship. It's kind of damp. No. We're good. We got VJ Hitchcomb over there plugging up holes. Did he play center? No. Did he play point guard? No. Oh, okay. It feels like the same. It feels like we're doing the same thing. No, Quentin Grimes is here. I've only seen Quentin Grimes as the number one option on this offense trying to score the basketball. That's all I've seen. I need to see how he's going to fit in with all of this. And they haven't even signed him yet. The report is $25 million is what he's going to be after. I don't fault him for asking for that. I don't think he's going to get it. I said yesterday on Locked On 76ers that if you look at a guy like Andrew Nembhard, for instance, he's at $19 million. That's what he's at a year. I think Quentin Grimes is going to get around that. Now, do I think he's an Andrew Nembhard? No, I don't. But if you're pricing it out, that's what I think they're going to spend. Around 18, 19 million. And I don't think he's worth it. I think if you look around the NBA, though, and you say, all right, who are your... Now, also keep in mind, Andrew Nembhard's a starter. So if you throw that kind of money at Quentin Grimes, you're throwing starter money at him. And he knows around the NBA, he could probably get starter money somewhere. Yeah, it's going to be a crap team, but he could get that starter money. If he's making $19 million, then you're looking at Quentin Grimes, you're looking at Tyrese Maxey, you're looking at Paul George. On a healthy day, those are your 1, 2, and 3. So that means Jared McCain and VJ Edgecombe, your third overall pick, he's coming off the bench, like your 20th overall pick, Jared McCain. That doesn't seem like it makes a lot of sense. But here we are. Your second unit's going to be pretty solid. I'll tell you that much. But here's one thing that I want to kind of push out the door when it comes to the 76ers. Any idea of tanking just doesn't make any damn sense because you don't even have a first-round pick next year. After this upcoming season, you don't have that pick. So one thing for sure, I think you could really say for sure about this team. I know everyone wants to question the health. Well, that's pretty obvious. But one thing I'm looking forward to about this Sixers season is that there's no tanking. This is going to be probably balls to the wall for Tyrese Maxey and the rest of this squad. Not named Joel Embiid, not named Paul George, because I do believe there's going to be load management introduced for both those, more so heavily, obviously, on Joel Embiid. But this is going to be an all-out to see how much better you can get between Game 1 and Game 82 for Tyrese Maxey, Jared McCain, Quentin Grimes as well, because I do think he's coming back, and VJ Edgecombe. Jedi Broom, also. How much better? Dembona. This is going to be an all-out push to try to make the play-in tournament. And that's at least one thing I look forward to. Guys going out there that actually give a damn. Guys going out there to work their asses off, and guys going out there to win. And of all the things that you've heard from last year, I mean, Tyrese Maxey saying, I can't go out there and try to lose. Like, if I can't go out there and play to lose. If I'm going out there, I'm playing to win. And the next thing you know, I think it was even later that week, he was shut down. Now, truth be told, you watched him play last year with that hurt finger, and he couldn't shoot a lick. The only concern I have about an all-out season without a lot of help for Tyrese Maxey, the only concern I have is just getting into bad habits. But with that comes a learning experience, so that would be the positive takeaway from it all. But I just want him to go out there and try to win. And you're going to get that either way with the 76ers in the upcoming season. And look, if there's ever motivation for Joel Embiid to go out there and play more, it's that this team is passing him by, and the East seems pretty open right now. Damian Lillard no longer with the Bucks. They waived him, quite the cost. They're trying to apparently put everything into keeping Giannis Antetokounmpo in Milwaukee. A lot going on in the NBA. Duncan Robinson out in Miami. How about that? There's a lot going on, and it just continues to lead to the idea that the East is wide open. Wide open. Pacers are losing Miles Turner. They're at a spot right now where they're apparently a lot of people in that locker room aren't feeling so good. I can understand why. Sixers have an opportunity here. So if there's ever a season to actually go out there and try to win basketball games, this is it. Certainly not tanking. There's no incentive for doing it at the end of this year. They don't have their own first-round pick. They don't have any other first-round pick. You got to go win. That's one thing I'm looking forward to about the upcoming season. Now, I mentioned Eric Gordon in that too, coming back and actually being another guard. Another guard. I'll be waiting for the Kyle Lowry news next. Either retirement or a one-year deal with the Sixers again. Good times. Mentioned the Phillies earlier when it came to their potential fixes for this team. Let me know in the comments, what's the number one thing you want? Would you go corner outfielder over bullpen help? Or would you go bullpen over corner outfielder? Really, when I say corner, I mean outfield. Because, look, Nick Castellanos ain't going anywhere. Brandon Marsh can play left. Brandon Marsh can play center. They can move him if they get somebody in here that they feel could play center field. They move Marsh to left field, and that would be that. Max Kepler, I don't know if they'd involve him in a trade because he certainly doesn't seem to be a happy camper. I saw Destiny Luongo put it out there from Philadelphia Sports Nation. Put it out there saying that he thought his comments were overblown, and I'm sure they were. Here's the thing I don't like about reading comments versus hearing the comment. You never really know the tone. You know, he could people they read a negative comment from Max Kepler, something along the lines of, what he said. I signed here to be an everyday left fielder. People hear that, they're like, I signed here to be an everyday left fielder. Or, I signed here to be an everyday left fielder, and like that kind of thing. Like he knows it's not working out. So, according to him, he didn't say he was taken out of context, which was good. I hate when people say that. The other thing was he did say that, I think it just got blown out of proportion. Like I'm here to work, essentially. More of the attitude of I'm employee number whatever, and I gotta do whatever I can to help this team win, that kind of thing. That's more of, I think, the tone he meant it, and it hasn't worked out to this point. Well, yeah, hey, look, I was not in favor of the signing when it happened. I haven't really been in favor of the signing throughout the season. He's had some nice moments. He's got robbed of a couple of home runs, sure. But overall, the production ain't there. You want to play more? Hit better than 200. And then we can start talking about playing more. But he's not holding me up from doing anything. He's not holding me up from exploring outfield options. But I do believe the best case scenario is that the Phillies use whatever prospects they can, and they bring in the best possible bullpen options. I feel the best bullpen options there are the ones they're already linked to, and that's with the Pittsburgh Pirates. So I'd love to see that happen. And then Justin Crawford gets elevated. There's no better outcome than that for the Phillies, where both those work out, and you didn't have to give up too many prospects because Justin Crawford's still here and he's starting to hit. Now, the other thing is, with all these prospects that you talk about, just willy-nilly, like Aiden Miller, whatever, Andrew Painter, even Mick Abel at the major league level right now that everyone's talked about showcasing and all that. Well, you'll see him today. What I find very interesting here is you have Bryce Harper signing a long-term deal. You have Trey Turner signing a long-term deal. Alec Boehm's going to be due. Bryson Stott, I can't even think about long-term yet until he improves his hitting. There's a lot going on here with the contract situations with the Phillies, and I know that we talk about stupid money with John Middleton. At some point, it's got to become somewhat responsible money. So you're going to need to have young guys under young prospect deals for a while just to manage the budget. And you got Zach Wheeler signed. You still have Aaron Nola signed. Remember Aaron Nola? Remember that guy? You got money thrown around here already. So you're going to need some of these young guys well before they're arbitration eligible to be making bottom dollar while giving you top dollar type performances. And you hope that you eventually get that from Aiden Miller. You hope that you get that from Justin Crawford. You hope you get that from Andrew Painter. I still hope you get that from Mick Abel. But that's the business side of it that affects greatly what goes on to the field of play. So, again, best case scenario, Phillies are able to add to the bullpen without having to give up the entire farm, and Justin Crawford comes up and he ends up being your everyday player. Those are the best case scenarios. And somewhat likely best case scenarios. Whenever I try to give you guys the best case scenario, I'm always trying to give you something that's not just some fantasy. Oh, well, obviously they have Pete Incaviglia come back and play, and he's going to be your platoon left fielder. He'll be fine. He'll be fine. He'll be 22 home runs per at bat. No big deal. That's the way I see it playing out. A couple of things I picked up from Pro Football Focus on your Philadelphia Eagles as we get closer and closer. It's July. Training camp this month. 20 days. Pro Football Focus gave the Philadelphia Eagles the nod for the second best defensive line in football. Second to the Pittsburgh Steelers, which, you don't even know who's going to be on the Pittsburgh Steelers in a couple of weeks. They just seem to be getting rid of guys left and right. So maybe they'll move up to number one. I don't know. Maybe the Eagles will acquire somebody for the Pittsburgh Steelers to bolster their D-line. I don't know. Things are crazy. But they got second. Okay. Love that. And then something I've never seen before. I did the confused dog look at my phone when I saw it come up on the old Instagram, right? And I've told you guys about this before. The Eagles have the best. Brace yourself. You ready for it? The best linebacking core in the NFL. What? Did I just say that out loud? That's what Pro Football Focus said. The best. Zach Bond has a lot to do with that. No question. Nakobe Dean coming back healthy? Does that have a lot to do with it? Apparently. John Campbell having a lot to do with it? Potentially. The best. I can't remember ever looking at the Philadelphia Eagles saying that they have a great linebacking core. The best in the NFL. It reminded me of a couple of things that we have to get used to as the offseason continues, training camp approaches. The Philadelphia Eagles paying a running back and paying a linebacker is a unknown territory. We're used to corners getting paid, and we're used to linemen getting paid. We're used to a quarterback getting paid, never a running back. A wide receiver, sometimes. I mean, we've at least lived in that world, but not right now. We're not used to that. And that's exactly what's happening right now. A linebacker is getting paid top dollar coming off an all-pro performance, and also a Defensive Player of the Year candidacy. in the previous season when maybe 90% of the fan base had no idea who he was. And then all of a sudden, Zach Bond breaks out onto the scene. Nakobe Dean played very well last year, coming off the injury. Then, unfortunately, injured again. Eagles last year had Oren Burke step up there in a great role in the postseason. Can't complain there. And now Jahad Campbell could be hunting for the spot in Nakobe Dean. They could be battling it out for that spot. Jahad Campbell could also be battling to potentially be the guy that actually replaces the production of an Hassan Reddick. Would love to see that. Azeez Ojulari as an edge rusher, linebacker, whatever you want to use him as. They've certainly up the ante there. Josh Uche in the one great season that he's had. Maybe they're looking at a lot from him. Jalix Hunt taking a step forward. Think of him obviously as an edge rusher more than anything. It's going to be pretty interesting to see what the Eagles are going to be putting out there on that football field and how much success they're going to have and the health they're going to have if they are, in fact, going to be the best linebacking core in the NFL. That's the world we live in now, folks. Still can't get over it. Oh, and also just one more a reminder on your Philadelphia Eagles. In a time where every coach breaks every meeting from OTAs, minicamp, whatever, to training camp, but they end with like, hey, don't get in trouble in that time. Just remember that your quarterback published a children's book. The exact opposite. It's like something a coach would say when they break. Hey, look, I don't expect you guys to go out and like write children's books or anything, but, just stay out of trouble. And Jalen is like, I think I'm going to go, that's a good idea. I should probably write a children's book. The opposite of trouble. Oh, I'm going to get married twice, too. To the same woman, of course. Two weddings. People told me I should do that with my wedding. I should have two weddings because we had a destination wedding. And they're like, oh, are you going to do another wedding when you come home? And I'm like, maybe. It just feels we felt kind of crappy about it. Like, hey, we did this big, huge wedding, and then we had this little tiny party. You missed out on the great thing. Here's this. You know what I mean? That feels kind of weird. That's how we felt. Other people feel different. That's how we felt. Jalen Hurts did it both, man. Hey, good for him. Hey, let me tell you about the Game Time app. It kind of felt like telling the wedding guests at the second wedding.
Take away the scoreboard.
That's kind of what it felt like, a little bit. You know what I mean? There you go. Hey, let me tell you about the Game Time app. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use promo code FARZI, and get $20 off your first purchase on the Game Time app. Want to go to the game, the concert, the comedy show? Game Time app has you covered. So take advantage of all they have to offer, especially when it comes to the Game Time Picks feature. Game Time Picks has everything you need when it comes to the Game Time app. The best seats at the lowest prices on the Game Time app. So if you want to go to the game, the concert, the comedy show, Game Time has you covered. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use promo code FARZI, get $20 off your first purchase on the Game Time app. How about PHL Sports Station, Philadelphia Sports Station, enhancing your Philadelphia sports fan experience across all social media and blogs? That's phlsportsnation.com. Excuse me. I think I said Santana had a 170 ERA. He's got a 150 ERA. Me scusi. And how about Sky Motorcars? Check out Brett's amazing inventory at skymotorcars.com. Let's get into the chat check and see how you guys doing this. Fine. Let's say Wednesday? Wednesday morning. Yes, Wednesday. Hey, remember, no Farzy show Thursday or Friday. No Farzy show Thursday or Friday. We're going to have a house full of people, a lot of babies. So I can't be loud in the house. And I don't know if you guys know. If you guys noticed or not, I'm pretty loud. So we're taking the 2 days off for the holiday. But appreciate everybody. There will be Locked On 76ers. That's a little bit later in the day. There will be Locked On Eagles. That's later in the day. So I will be doing that. And then postcast today and tomorrow. But not Friday. Off Friday. Oh, wait. Thursday is no game anyway. They have the off day Thursday. And Miss Guzzi. All right. Let's see how you guys doing. Buddy Christ, good morning. What's for breakfast? Probably another espresso because today's a really busy day. A breakfast burrito. Make a nice breakfast burrito. Daughter loves them. Little Toots loves them. April, good morning. What's for breakfast for you, Buddy Christ? Bread and wine? Too soon? All right. April, good morning. April, currently in line at the DMV. Here's hoping I'm not still here for the Phillies. Good luck, April. Good luck. Are you getting the real ID? Do you need the real ID? Or is that just a thing that we need in PA because we're a Commonwealth or something? Does everyone need a real ID? I don't know the rules. I was fully prepared just to bring my passport. You know what it feels like? It feels like, in all honesty, I remember that time when we were kids and they're like, hey, guess what? Now you're going to need an area code to dial someone down the street. Remember that? Okay. For the young people, you used to just have to dial 7 digits. And then you had to dial the full area code, the 215, right, along with the number. That sucked. That was like, oh, I got to call dudes down the street. Now it's like, I got to bring my passport just to fly to Virginia. Like, yes. Is it really that difficult? Or you just get a real ID. No, thanks. Sean Gillespie, what's going on? Buddy Christ, how can anyone entertain the notion that the Sixers will be a competitive team? I'll tell you, the NBA sucks. So you can kind of suck and be kind of good. That's the only way you can entertain that notion. It's not a compliment. It's not high praise. Like when I say, like a lot of times I'll identify whether or not a team is a playoff team. That's I think a very important thing because the regular season is for sheer entertainment, going to the games, blah, 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 blah. But like the playoffs is what it's all about. If they're good enough to make the playoffs, yes, anything can happen, though likely not, for the Sixers. But if everybody else around you sucks, that makes you kind of look good if you're just a little bit okay. It's not a high bar, unfortunately. Teacher got game. Why are we signing mentors to the two roster spots? I don't know. That's why when I look at Eric Gordon, I go, well, maybe 41% for 3. And he plays limited. And look, you got a lot of young guys. You need a little bit of age experience on that bench. But I look, Eric Gordon being back, I don't want Kyle Lowry back. I love Kyle Lowry. As soon as he signed with the Sixers, I loved him. It was a nuisance anywhere else, but always respected him. I know what he's doing. But I don't need 2 37, 38, 39-year-old guards. Don't need that. Buddy Christ, you're a glutton for punishment. This is true. I am a Philadelphia sports fan. Sean Kilrain, good morning. Good morning. I know the rain out stinks, but now I can listen to the Phils all day today instead of listening to the Crybaby. Oh, Crybaby 20-sums I work with. Gotcha. There you go. I'm sorry for you. Philly Magic. Pin 9617. Morning, Farzy. I'm discussing with the Sixers that Guerschon did. What Guerschon did is treason. Should have left him in France. The re-signing of Eric Gordon makes me want to puke. Come on, Eagles training camp. Yes. Yes. Look, Guerschon put his talent out there at an affordable price for the 76ers. Sixers gave him the opportunity. Sixers didn't want to give him another opportunity. I don't blame Guerschon in this. Like, what is he going to do? Take less money to stay? Like, I think if the Sixers would have given him the mid-level exception, he would have stayed. This is Guerschon, good luck to you. I hate that it's the Knicks, but the Sixers are the ones that let this happen. That's where I'm at with that. And yes, please, training camp, get here as fast as possible. Danny Prado, hello. If Ace Bailey turns into a superstar, that could be a turning point for me. I was 3 years old in 1983. I don't know the feeling of an NBA championship. Pin, I was 6 months old in 1983. I was 6 months old. For those that don't know, I'm not named after, but my name was inspired by Mark Ivoroni of the 83 squad. So, yes, I've never experienced it either. The closest I got, just like you, Allen Iverson, finals, game 1, overtime, 50 points. Closest I got to the Sixers winning anything in my lifetime. Or in my conscious lifetime. So there you go. Paul Mancini, hello. Bad start for the 76ers offseason. I'm tired of Morey in the front office. Should have been terminated after the season. Yeah, this is it. By the way, speaking of another, I didn't even name that reason. Thank you for reminding me, Paul. Another reason for the Sixers to actually win this season is because Morey's going to get fired. That's the reason. That's why they need to win. If they show some promise. VJ Edgecombe looks like a stud. Then that means Morey had taken Maxey, McCain, Edgecombe. But look, that's all nice stuff. That all is good. Nothing's going to happen unless Joel Embiid is playing at, listen to my words, a near all-star level. Forget about MVP. That ain't happening. If he could just be near an all-star level, if Paul George could around the same, right? And he plays maybe 65 games, maybe 60. Then I think the Sixers are going to be set in terms of making the playoffs for sure. But not expecting too much. Sixers will tank the regular way they do every year. Yeah, except this time there's no pot of gold at the end. Greeny Green, is re-signing Eric Gordon a win now move or build for the future move, or neither? It's for the future in that having a veteran like him around is great for the young players that you're going to have in the future. It's a win now move if you're signing him more so for the reason that he can shoot 40, 41% from three. That's a win now move. That's someone you bring off the bench, knock down a couple shots, go back to the bench. So I'm not on the fence with it. I'm saying it's definitely both. Having him here helps the younger guys. Sure, that helps you for the future. But having him here now as a guy that can still shoot if he's healthy, that is a win now move. Sean Kilmer, Eagles are getting their Super Bowl championship rings on. Yes. What is Morey doing? Greeny Green? I wish I had more of a thing. Why bring back Eric Gordon? I just touched on that. Sean Kilrain, Braves are now 38-46 and have fallen below Marlins for fourth place. Wow. That's crazy. Well, I didn't even look at the standings this morning because the Phillies. Did the Mets even play last night? I meant to. Yep. Phillies still 2 games ahead of the Mets. Mets and Brewers got rained out yesterday as well. They having a doubleheader? They're having a doubleheader today, 110 and 710. Phillies 1 and 6. Bucks signed Miles Turner. Yes, they did. Phillies should play Sosa in left field more often, but need to add 2 relievers, including a real closer, Bednar. They won't have playoff success. Yeah, I'm still on that. Yeah, I wouldn't. I'm good with Sosa in left field. I'm good with that. Pin 96. Relatives in your house, hide the valuables. Oh, April. Everyone needs a real ID. I already have mine, just a renewal. But North Carolina DMV is the slowest place on earth. Sean Gillespie, Pro Football Focus, I take it with a grain of salt, even though I agree. Here's what Pro Football Focus is. It's fantasy sports. They grade everyone individually. So it has nothing to do with the team. But these are group ratings. So I find that to be interesting when it comes to a defensive line ranking at number 2 and a linebacker rating at number 1. Fascinating. When it comes to like Derrick Henry over Saquon Barkley, I don't care. That's fantasy. That's, oh, well, what if Derrick Henry was playing on that? Well, what if my ace? Okay. That's how I feel about that. Oh, Mullet. Oh, I thought you were saying you were having relaxing. Have relaxing time off, Farzi. I'll be on the Stone Harbor and Wildwood Beaches with my Sheba. Oh, that's nice. Drinking espresso. Serenity now. Thank you. Appreciate you. Real ID equals government scam for extra cash. Probably. Thanks, everybody in the chat. You guys are wonderful, as per usual. Let's get to the morning rush, brought to you by Sky Motor Cars, SkyMotorCars.com. Phillies, Padres, back at it today for a doubleheader. Here's what you got coming up today. 105, Mick Abel against Nick Pivetta. Then you got Christopher Sanchez at 6:15 against Dylan Cease. Let's go for the sweep. Let's get crazy. Then you host the Reds for 3, and then you head out on the West Coast for a 6-game road trip against the Giants for 3 and the Padres for 3 before the All-Star break. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. You guys are great. As per Mullet, my ace. Best take. You're welcome. Thanks, everybody in the chat. You guys are great. My name is Mark Farzetta. This is the Farzy Show presented by MyBookie, mybookie.ag. Coming up today. All right, busy day for your boy. Farzy Show wrapping now. Locked on 76ers coming up at 10 o'clock. Locked on Eagle Squad podcast coming up actually at 11. We're going a little earlier today, I believe. Yes. And then 2 Phillies postcasts. And somewhere in between there, I got to mow the lawn. So it's going to be a busy day. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. My name is Mark Farzetta. This is the Farzy Show presented by MyBookie, mybookie.ag. Back with you guys Monday for the Farzy Show. And then see you guys throughout on the various Locked On networks I'll be on over the weekend, or over the rest of this week and the weekend. Thanks for watching.